this is a public health matter, so I can assure you that it will still be guided by the experts' advice. I have, in fact, briefly raised this matter with the experts already, and the experts' advice will in turn be based on epidemiological evidence. That's why Hong Kong Center for Health Protection is now liaising with the Japanese health authorities to try to get as much information as possible so that the experts could then give us advice on how to deal with the returnees. Well, basically, our primary objective is to look after the health and the safety of these Hong Kong people returning to Hong Kong, and also the overall public health situation requirements in Hong Kong.
And for the other relief measures for the public?
Yes, this is a pretty large sum of money, but we are facing an almost unprecedented situation. And we are still in the midst of this particular situation, which is still evolving. And I suppose people should look at the content. In this time, the government has taken some bold and decisive steps to help different sectors and also to ensure that we can continue to undertake all the infection control measures that have been put in place. So if members of the public and members of the Legislative Council do feel that each and every of those initiatives is necessary, then the amount is not the most important factor, because if you want to do all these things, then you need to get the money. And I'm going to apply also for a contingency, because, as I said, the situation is evolving. So in an emergency situation, which we are in, you remember that when I introduced the regulations made by the Executive Council, that was premised on the declaration of Hong Kong entering into a public health emergency. So I feel that these measures are justified, and they have taken into account the feedback given to us by Legislative Council members and also expressed in public and from the various sectors. So I would very much hope that members of the Legislative Council will not bargain with us and will accept that these measures are essential given the current situation.
Orange Daily News. 2 questions. Some healthcare worker complained that 8 of those under home quarantine under
our colleagues in the Wuhan Economic and Trade Office, together with the Immigration Department's colleagues, have been following up and rendering the necessary support and assistance to those Hong Kong people stranded in Hubei. Up till now, we receive more than 1,100 cases involving more than 2,200 Hong Kong people. We have been maintaining contact with them and also arranging sending drugs to those in need by batches, and some have already arrived and some are on the way, and also providing them with hotlines and all these necessary assistance and support. From day one upon receipt of the assistance cases, we have already started the contingency planning, because we obviously know that for those who visited Hubei to visit their relatives, they did not anticipate that they have to stay there for so long, and they are anxious to come back. So we have already started and are planning for the return arrangements. So given the numbers, we of course will take into account the actual way of doing this, including the possibility of by batches, and also how to prevent cross-infection during the process on the return trip, and also the proper arrangement for quarantine upon return to Hong Kong.
Retail sector, you're distributing $80,000 for them. They're putting much more left after paying the rent. Would it call this spraying cash? Some political parties advocating distributing $10,000 for each Hong Kong people. Would the government consider it? For the hard-hit sectors, when providing the kind of support, if you still see that at giving money unconditionally, that would be correct. We choose to take a target